chat. I want live chat. What are we doing? What are we doing? Hello, we're live. I'm Amanda Call. This is my YouTube channel. I'm still working on this comic page that I've been working on for a while because color takes a while. We're going to see if we can try to finish up getting all of the Inktense stuff laid down today. Even if I don't quite finish, I might take a pause on doing the Inktense and show you the next step in the process because it's been a while since I've done that on one of these. So we worked on this for 3 sessions so far. This will be the 4th session, so that's 3 hours of work in this page so far. Yeah, they're super great. They're the Derwent Inktense pencils. So technically they're water-soluble ink pencils, not watercolor pencils, which is why they behave a little bit differently than watercolor pencils. They're really cool though. And actually today I had to go I had to go for quite a drive, take one of my kids to an appointment, like a specialist appointment that was way the heck out of the way. He's fine. It's just a thing. But there's an art supply store. I got to go to the art supply store today and get some. I got a lot of stuff, honestly, because of course I did, because I got to go to an art supply store. But one of the things that I got was more Inktense pencils. Some of them are colors that I use all the time, like Baked Earth I use a lot, and Iron Green I use a lot. What was this one? Oh, and then some of these were new and I just wanted to try. So like I got tan and dark chocolate and Chinese ink, which is like a gray color. And teal green. I might have already had teal green. I might have messed up there. I don't know. I'll look in a second. Sicilian yellow. It's this kind of like pale yellow. Interesting. And what was this one? Iron blue. So I really love the iron green. I'm curious what the iron blue is going to look like. So yeah, I got to get some more fun Inktense pencils. I will not tell you how much money I spent at the art supply store. It was a lot. And the owner made a comment about staying within budget. And I was just like, budget. I don't do that when I come here. I just get what I want. I don't get to actually get to an art supply store very often. A lot of times my art supplies I have to get online, and it's just not the same. It's not the same as going to, an art supply store and getting to wander around and look at stuff and be, just enchanted by all the fun art supplies and just grab stuff. It's not the same thing. So I, make the most of it. Make the most of it. Enjoy myself when I go. I am looking for my reference pictures so that I know what I am doing while I'm doing this. Hey, someone saying, how are you doing today? Okay, I found my reference pictures. I'm gonna work on this panel here for a little bit. So flesh tones are kind of a pain to do. We're going to do this hand so we get some flesh tone fun times here. Because, there's no for one, you shouldn't, in general, you shouldn't just use, peach or whatever for a white person's skin tone. It doesn't really work anyway. There's a lot of different colors in our skin, lots of different tones, and everybody has slightly different tones to their skin. But there's nothing even close to that in my bin. So I have to kind of build a tone, which can be a little bit tricky. I'm going to start with a very light layer of mustard, which is a kind of neutral toned yellow. So we're going to do that very lightly. So a lot of what I've done so far with these, this is also going to be a good example of building up a lighter color instead of having the really dark, intense colors, which is a lot of what I've done here so far is really vibrant, really intense, really punch you in the face type colors. We're going to do something a little more subtle. here. So we'll see how this goes. So we did a layer of mustard. I'm going to do a very light layer of fuchsia to give it a little bit of a pinky tone. And then I tend to do baked earth. You can tell I use that one a lot. It's a little stub. I'm going to do some baked earth and start doing some of the shading, get a little bit of depth in there. All right, let's see. I'm going to look at my hand. I've got a little bit more pink around my knuckles. I actually have some like kind of greeny undertones. I'm actually very olive toned, so that's maybe not the best example, but we've got some pink and purple tones around the knuckles, and then the nails are a lot lighter and have like that pink at the base of them. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of that kind of stuff. What do I have for like a pinky purple color? Or like a purpley red. I'm gonna add just the very tiniest. No, chili red is not exactly. Do I want that, or do I want the Shiraz? These are so close to the same color. It's not even funny. Look at that. They're, I swear, not the same color. When you look at them at this end, you can tell they're not the same, but the coating on the tip, they look almost the same. The Shiraz is much more purple, but you would never know by looking at the coating on the back. So we're going to do just a little bit of that around the knuckles. And around the nail beds. I just saw it. Where did it go? Okay, sepia ink. So this has like it's a little bit brown, but it's also a little bit green. We're going to use that for some of our darker shadows here. And I want like a medium brown. Where's my willow? That's madder brown. That's not what I want. Where's willow? There it is. Okay. Willow is a nice medium brown. I'm just going to do that for some sections. Build this up a little bit. I'm going to try, my, no, that's tan. I want to try my Sicilian yellow. Is that what it was? I don't remember. What is it? Yes, Sicilian yellow. I want to try my new yellow. I want to put just a little bit of that because it's kind of a neutral yellow. It's like got a little bit of a duller tone to it. Let's see how that works. And then we'll do a little bit of pink around the tip and the base of the nail. All right. So let's see how this looks before we go and do anything else. We're gonna see how this looks because I'm anxious to see how it turned out. I need to find my brush. and get some water. Those nails look aggressively pink. They should look probably a little less aggressive once I have everything else done. All right, we're going to do this kind of cast shadow from the sleeve because like I mentioned before, part of what's unique about the Inktense pencils is that any of your like anything once it is activated, it's going to stay. Once it's activated and dries, it's not going to move. And so if you have like a hard line of something that you want, that's a good way to make sure that you get that nice crisp line, is to do that first. Okay, I would say this is working out to be a pretty good flesh tone. I'm getting a lot of different tones in different parts, which is good because people don't have like single color plastic Barbie skin. It doesn't work that way. You can see since I did that shadow first, it's not going anywhere when I hit it with the water again. You're not one color, you're lots of colors. It's true. Okay, and this is also you can see how little I had on the page here that now when I'm activating it with water, it's a lot stronger, but that was almost nothing actually on the paper that produced this. You can see even like compared to what's activated there, like, and what I haven't done yet, how little of the pencil was on there to get this nice light and subtle effect. So it's possible, you just have to have an extremely light touch. Okay, end of that one's getting a little extra pink, more pink than I wanted. We're gonna pull some of that out. All right, hey, look, it's a hand, and it's even like, well, it's pretty pasty looking, pretty good pasty looking hand. They are magic. I freaking love them. Usually pasty, Caucasian, slightly bruised blue/red. Yes. So yeah, that worked out pretty well. So yeah, I did want to just kind of like take a moment to show you guys that you can get a more subtle effect. It is possible. It's a thing you can do. Oh my God. I just sent a pencil rolling. What? Where'd it go? What did I send flying? Apple green. Went for a ride. Thanks for the lurk. I appreciate it. Okay. I'm going to continue this panel. I think we're just going to work on this panel primarily today to try to get us through to the next stage because I want to show you guys the next stage, and the other panels are not. The only other panel that's even kind of close to that one is this one, and I don't feel like that's the best use of demonstrating what I want to do next. So moving on. work on this. I'm going to work on this little coat sleeve here for a second. Similar kind of treatment to what I did to the trees earlier, where I'm just going to kind of do that bright highlight from the sunset. Or blend it out with a little bit of mustard. And I need another green. Where's my iron green? And I want a brown in there to keep that toned down. That is orange. That's not brown. Where's bark? Give me my bark. Hey, Hungry. Thanks so much for joining me. So I just jumped right into the arting today, and I didn't even ask, how's everybody doing? How are we doing today? How was your weekend? It hardly felt like a weekend for me because this is like the first weekend in months I've had where I didn't have a million things I had to do. Couldn't have been the weekend. I wasn't running around absolutely out of my mind trying to get a million things done. That's what I do on weekends, isn't it? Oh, goodness. Hot out in the Pacific Northwest. I believe it. We've been back on the constant raininess situation here. And someone saying is doing good because the thunderstorm that rolled through all day didn't knock the power out. That's a relief. Having the power go out, especially when it's hot and gross out, not a fun time. I'm glad your power did not get knocked out. I have a black pencil somewhere. I can't seem to locate it. Where did you go? I did already have teal green. Yep, I did. That was foolish. Is that it? There it is. Okay. I found it. This weekend, the only stuff we did was like right nearby at home. That was kind of nice for a change. We went to there was a little lecture that happened locally about Civil War history in our area. That was pretty cool. And they were rededicating the Civil War Memorial in the next town over. And so there was an encampment of reenactors. So that was fun. So we got to go check out the little reenactment camp, and the lecture was pretty good. My kids freaking loved the reenactment camp. They thought that was the coolest thing, because it is the coolest thing. Let's be real here. And one of the reenactors, he would have stood there and talked to us all day. One of those guys that it's just like, yes, please, let me talk to you about literally anything. And he stood and talked to us for, I don't know, probably close to an hour. Incredibly generous with his time. Everybody was very cool, very, very much willing to answer questions and spend time telling you about whatever you were interested in, plus whatever else happened to come to mind. All right. Yay. There's a sleeve. I am not thrilled with how the camera is picking up these colors. It looks much nicer than that. I don't know why it looks so gross on the camera. I'm not sure what's going on there. It looks nicer than that. I'll have to take some pictures, not with my webcam, which is making the colors look gross. I don't know why it's doing that. It's very frustrating. Yeah, so that was nice. We had a nice chill weekend. Took the kids out to camp. They're going to spend the week hanging out at a camp with their grandmother, swimming, just being little fishes. It's a good time. Well, I'm glad you think so, Hungry. I think that like I can see it in real life and it looks very different to what it's showing on the screen, and it's just not what I'm expecting when I look at the screen. So it looks bad to me just cuz it's not what I'm expecting to see, I think is the thing. My expectations are not being met. I think that's the issue. The color's a little bit it's not really representing the color accurately, but it's fine. I'm just being particular. All right, we're going to put down a nice little coating of this charcoal gray in the back for the rocks. Rocks, rocks, rocks. Yeah, so it was actually a chill weekend. I haven't had a chill weekend in quite some time. Picked some berries, been making jam. It's just nice to be getting to do relaxing things a little bit. Okay, I need to sharpen that. That is very dull. Where's my pencil sharpener? That's the question now. There it is. I found it. All right, trying to get this little like crack in the rock to read. That was sepia. Let's see, what else do I have? Do 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 do. I want to add some brown tones. Let's do some baked earth. Or no, wait. Yeah, that's baked earth. We'll do some baked earth, get some brown tones in here. And then we'll get some blue tones in the darker parts, like down in the dark depths of the crack there. Where did indigo go? There it is. All right. I also need to make a shadow up top here and like cast by the hand, and also just add like a bunch of, depth to the rock, not have it be a solid color. Because again, things are generally not just a solid color. I'm going to start with the iron green as like the beginning of my shadow here. I don't want it to end up green though, so we're gonna build it with a couple different complementary tones to get a nice complex neutral. But we are going to add just a little bit of like some of the iron green over here. Give it some texture. And some of this we'll add in on the next pass too, because this is just like a base color layer. And so like textures and stuff we're going to add later. So we're not going to worry about that as much right now, but I do want there to be like a bunch of different colors going on. All right. So we did the iron green. Now we're going to do madder brown, because madder brown is a reddish brown. And that red and the green will help to calm each other down and make a nice complex neutral. So the goal is it should not look green. It should not look brown. It should be like a brownish gray that's just got a lot of like complexity to it. We'll see if that actually works or not. And some of the other places where I know I put the iron green, we'll do a little bit of that too. I want a little bit of orange in different spots. Gonna give it a little yellow here and there. Give it some Payne's gray all over. And I want another brown color. I guess we'll do baked earth again. No, wait, where's willow? Willow. That's still baked earth. Where are you? I need a better way to organize these. I feel like I spend so much time just digging through the pile trying to find the color I'm looking for. There it is. Okay, just kind of colors all over. Now, I'm going to do the same thing like we did before, where I'm going to do the darkest sections first, the places where I want my dark defined lines. Okay. Concentrating very hard to not try to not screw this up. Ah. Okay. Those are the little cracks in the rock. Cool. We got that part. Now we need to get the shadow under the hand, which is in the places where it's not going to where it's going to still be pretty harsh, where it's not going to be like a diffused shadow. And hopefully not completely screw up the hand when I do it. Okay, but up here in the corner, this is where it's kind of going to blend out a little bit. It's not going to be as, this is where the shadow is starting to diffuse a little bit. So you see on that edge where when the shadow was still wet, I went ahead and blended that out, but I waited until this edge was a little more dry before I came in and went next to it so that it didn't blend. It still kept that nice crisp edge. Okay, we're getting some lots of different tones going on there, different colors. It's not all just one color. That's good. And you can see that that crack that I did earlier, since it's dry, is not going anywhere, which is good. All right, cool. Yay, we got rocks. Looks like rocks. Okay, so what we're going to do at this time, I'm going to take a little bit of a pause from doing all of the water soluble ink stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch gears over to what would be the next stage of this. It's been a while since I've done this process on stream, so I'm kind of going, oh my gosh, as I throw stuff everywhere, I'm kind of going through the whole thing to show you guys what the deal is, how this works. Because I think the last time I did one of these was like, oh my gosh, probably like a couple years ago when I did all the animal flower skulls. So after I get all of the base layer of color laid down with the water soluble ink pencils and all of that is built up, we got a pretty nice looking base here. But as you can see, it's kind of washed out. There's not a lot of like depth to it. I would definitely have to give it another pass with the water soluble ink pencils if I wanted to get a little bit more of like a pop. But instead of doing that, what I prefer to do is, now that I have that base, I'm going to go in and start making some of that action happen with colored pencils that I put on top of it. So we're going to start here. The rocks are still pretty wet. The hand is nice and dry, so we're going to start on that. I need a good place to put my pencils. I'm running out of surfaces. All right. Yeah, so as you can see, basically what I'm doing with the colored pencils is I'm going through and just kind of like picking out some details, adding some of that depth back in that we maybe lost when we went over everything and kind of blended a lot of the colors together. And sometimes it's a little bit more obvious and sometimes it's a little bit more subtle, like some of what we're going to do. So I think I'm going to go in with this peach and just kind of like tighten up the edges of the fingernails. It's little details like that. See, look at that. Now they're just a little bit more defined, and I can even go over them, like the lighter part of them, with a little bit of a lighter color to just kind of like smooth out any dark parts that may have ended up there. I want like a lighter. Where's yellow ochre? There you are. Yellow ochre is like my best friend when it comes to colored pencils. I use it for so many things. All right. We need some other little details like, oh, these little creases on the knuckles. This is like the tiniest little nub of a pencil I'm using here. And Are you detailing with a normal colored pencil now, or is that also an ink pencil? Nope, these are normal colored pencils. This is my Prismacolor set that I've had for a bajillion years. And pretty much at this point, I only use them for this sort of thing of this layer of my mixed media process. So yeah, I'm pulling out details with just a regular old colored pencil on top of it. I do want to add a little bit more of make that a little bit darker, that shadow there. So rather than just going with a dark brown, I'm going to use my patented indigo blue Tuscan red 1-2 punch. Indigo blue, followed by I can't find anything ever. Tuscan red. There we go. Boom. Instant nice dark shadow that's not actually black. That gives you a nice dark pop of color. Best combo ever. This was like, so I know I get a little bit tedious doing my this one time in art school stories, but I learned how to do basic color drawing in my drawing 2 class. And my professor was, oh, come on, really? Hate it when that happens. My professor was like, hey guys, you're going to learn how to draw in color, but I'm only going to let you use like 9, I think, colors. Yeah, it's like 9 colors that he let us use. So that was intense, but it was like we had like a light red, a dark red, a light blue, a medium blue, and a dark blue, a light yellow and a dark yellow, and then white and it might have been something else. But anyway, basically I learned that I could in fact draw in color. I could in fact create colors from very, very little with colored pencils. And the dark yellow, red, and blue that we used were Tuscan red, indigo blue, and yellow ochre. And those are still the colors that I use for absolutely everything all the time. Those became the like cornerstone of my any ability that I have with drawing in color. So Congratulations, Professor Bartone, wherever you are. You made me learn to use those colors forever. So that is always when I am doing color drawing, how I build up my shadows is with Tuscan Red, Indigo Blue. Check it out. Here we go. And then sometimes I'll do like, because basically like you had to do everything just by, different proportions of those colors. And that's a little bit extreme. I'm not quite that stringent about it anymore. I use other colors. Especially like if you're trying to get like a freaking brown or something. It took forever to get the ratio just right. But when I am building up shadows, I am absolutely always using those three. When I took Painting 101, my professor said we were only allowed to use the primaries. Yeah. Yeah, this was basically like a version of that. It's a little bit harder to like lighten colored pencils though, which I think is why he allowed us like the light and dark. Whereas with paint, you can add white, sure. But that's a little bit trickier with colored pencils. Half semester in, one of the other students walked by and asked why I always mix my secondaries. Apparently, I missed the part where it was only the rule for one project. Oh, no. Oh, I could see myself doing something like that. Wait, what? When did we get the whole range of colors? When did that happen? How did I miss that memo? Oh, that's funny. Like, wait just a second. Yeah, so you can see that this the colored pencils, it also allows me to just like sharpen up some of the edges a lot better than they were before. Yeah, you sure did. I bet. I bet you are a master at color mixing at this point. Holy cow. All right, I need to sharpen this a little bit. And hopefully the tip will not disintegrate on me this time. Oh my gosh, it's already 8:50. Which means it's time for me to do some of the YouTube things. I'm Amanda Call. This is my YouTube channel that you're watching right here. I do live art streams like this pretty much every week at 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday nights. So if you like watching me work on comics and chat about my process, then you should definitely like this video and subscribe to this channel because that's the thing that you're going to get plenty of here. Often I will be working on my webcomic, Age of Night. It's not what I'm working on this time. I'm working on a page for a comic anthology. It's being put together by my friend Jack Holder. And so this is a little bit different. Usually, though, you'll see me working on Age of Night, which is my big webcomic project. You can find it at ageofnight.com. That's AGEOFNIGHT.com. Updates every Wednesday and you get a new comic page. You can read the whole thing online for free, but if you would like to help support me, you can also support me on Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/ageofnight, spelled just the same as the website. Patrons get all of their comics a week early. So whatever page you see on the public site right now, the patrons have next week's comic. Whatever comic updates this week, They already saw it. They're ahead of the curve. It's pretty cool. They get other cool perks too, like other free comics, more behind the scenes sneak peeks, occasional little process, blog, rant situations, that sort of thing. It's a good time, and I super appreciate it. It's very helpful to me. All right, I'm going to add a little bit of texture to the stone here with some other colors. Before we finish, so you can see that this is the stage in which I can start adding some texture. So we could do a little bit of that. The other thing we do on this phase is we can add see, it's looking a lot more rock-like now. Isn't that nice? What else is going on? You can find me on various social medias as either Amanda Call Art or Age of Night. And this weekend, I am going to be at Plastic City Comic Con in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. So if you are in the area, if you're in Massachusetts or some parts of Connecticut or just all over the place in New England, really, Fitchburg is not that hard to get to in that whole area. I would love to see you. Come on out and see me. Plastic City is a nice show. It's a one-day show. It's just on Saturday, and it's only $10 to get in, which is pretty great. And it's not like a huge show, so it's one of those things of like you get in, you can see everything in like a couple of hours, you can do some shopping, see some cosplay, talk to some artists, and you don't get like super overwhelmed, and you still have like some time and energy left over at the end of the day if you also wanted to, do anything else with your day. It's not completely ruled out by going to this show, which I kind of appreciate. I like there being some smaller shows in the roster where it's just like, this is not this massive commitment that's going to take my whole weekend. All right, we're adding just a little bit more texture here, and then I think we're going to call it good for today. So this gives you an idea. I just wanted to kind of move forward a little bit with the process and show you where this goes after all of the building up the base layer. So you can see how much more definition there is in that panel, even though I'm not fully done. I haven't done the sleeve at all yet, and I might pick out a few more bits here and there, but that gives you an idea. Super cool watching your pages come to life. Yeah, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out with me. I'm not sure if we'll continue to work on this next week or if we'll maybe work on something else. Sound off in the comments. Let me know whether you want to see me work on this page some more or switch back to like an Age of Night page or something. Yeah, let me know. Thanks, everybody. I will see you next time. Bye.